Right now at 10, another plane crash. A Delta flight from Minneapolis left upside down after an accident on a Toronto runway. And tomorrow is primary day. What races will be on the ballots in lacrosse? Plus, Burgers for a Good Cause, a fundraiser helping provide the homeless community with some winter essentials.
You're watching WKBT Lacrosse. This is News 8 Now at 10.
Good evening, everyone, and thanks for joining us tonight at 10. I'm Ken Kozorowski. Emily is off. A plane coming from Minneapolis crash landed upside down at a Toronto airport today. 17 people, including a child, were injured in the crash. Now, it's still unclear exactly how the plane was upended. Weather could have played a factor in the accident. At the time, there were wind gusts of around 40 miles an hour and blowing snow from 2 feet that fell in the past week. A passenger on the plane explains the moments leading up to the crash.
When we hit, it was just a super hard, like I hit the ground and the plane went sideways. And I believe we skidded like on our side and then flipped over on our back. Where we ended up, there was like a big fireball out this left side of the plane.
This is the first major incident involving a passenger jet since last month's deadly air disaster over Reagan National Airport. On Friday, the Trump administration began firing several hundred Federal Aviation Administration employees as part of the effort to downsize the federal government. Law enforcement took justified action in a December fatal shooting. That's according to the Chippewa County District Attorney. An Eau Claire police officer and state patrol trooper shot and killed 49-year-old Matthew Luke in the town of Lafayette back on December 21st. A Wisconsin DOJ investigation says Luke shot at the officers after they confronted him for a domestic incident. Officers returned fire and killed him. The DA's office says that action by law enforcement constituted legal self-defense and defense of others. Wisconsin Governor Tony Evers will deliver his next biennial state budget address tomorrow at 7 p.m. That budget will include $80 million for Wisconsin farmers, $500 million to lower the cost of child care, and $145 million to address PFAS contamination statewide. We'll stream the governor's address live on news8000.com. And tomorrow, voters can cast ballots for the February primary, which will feature almost exclusively local races. As Grace Monk reports, election officials are prepping for a modest turnout.
Chris Kalo, Vicki Markison, Ellie McLoone, and Shondell Washington Spivey are on the ballot for mayor. Voters will also be weighing in on races for school board and District 7 Common Council.
We are unfortunately expecting a lower turnout. That's pretty typical for a February primary. And the weather probably isn't going to do us any favors.
So far, the city has received 1,890 of the 2,750 absentee ballots sent out.
The numbers were, of course, much higher for the fall 2024 elections. It's pretty typical where we're sitting right now for absentees for a February primary with local contests.
Last week, school board candidate Sam Morris decided to drop out of the race.
There is no method for a candidate's name to be removed from the ballot. So that individual's name will still be pre-printed or printed on the ballot. If that individual is one of the top 6 as far as votes, the individual will still go through to the election on April 1st.
Elson says the only thing they can do is hope voters are informed.
It's really up to the voters to know. For the candidate to, get that information out and for the voters to know. We do expect the poll workers will get some of those questions tomorrow, but the poll workers can't give voters any information.
Winners of tomorrow's race will go head-to-head on April 1st. Elson says they're expecting to see more voters then.
And the polls in Wisconsin will be open tomorrow from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. The fate of $50 million approved to implement a new Wisconsin reading law is not looking good. That is according to a Wisconsin lawmaker's office. Republican Joel Kitchens introduced the bipartisan Act 20 that the governor signed in 2023. It said public schools had to use a phonics-based method to teach reading from now on. The legislature also approved $50 million to help offset training and curriculum costs, but the governor and lawmakers have sued each other over how to spend that money. The state Supreme Court may not rule on the lawsuit before the end of this fiscal year, so that would potentially send the money back into the state's record surplus fund. And that gridlock comes while the average Wisconsin student is half a grade level behind in reading. Harvard University is researching how schools nationwide are recovering from pandemic disruption, and new data finds Wisconsin was 30th nationally in reading between 2019 and 2024. It also found 94% of students are in districts with average reading achievement below 2019 levels. Now, some Arctic temperatures in the area causing some schools already to cancel classes tomorrow. You'll be seeing those updated at the bottom of your screen tonight during the news. So when might we see those cold temperatures subside a little bit, Greg?
Well, we still got at least a day of really cold conditions, and then Wednesday still cold, maybe not quite as bad as Tuesday, and then things really do a flip towards the weekend. If you like milder temperatures, you're really going to like next weekend coming up. But right now, we could see wind chills as low as 40 below as temperatures get back into the teens, and even 20 belows, close to maybe even a record for Eau Claire. So definitely cold for the middle of February too. If you look at frostbite temperatures, you're down to 35. You're looking at exposed skins in 30 minutes for frostbite. And at 35 to 55, that's somewhat, some areas may be in that range. We're looking at 10 minutes potentially. And the Dakotas, actually some areas up there were near 50 below or fire, so that was only just 5 minutes. We're not going to quite see that bad overall, but wind chills we track out through the morning hour, waking up to 35 to potentially 40 below for a few hours. Other areas will be in that 25 to 30 below range, and that won't improve too much until we get to about noon, when we'll be mainly in the 15 to 20 below range. Overnight lows that I mentioned, teens, a few 20s out there. Eau Claire 20 below. The record is 20 below, so it could come close. And as we go throughout tomorrow, we're looking at temperatures back in the single digits. Later on, we're going to track out that, yes, things are going to change a little bit as the minus 40 turns into a plus 40 as we get to next weekend, and I'm sure a lot of people will like that.
I will definitely be looking forward to that mild temperature. All right, Greg, thanks very much. Well, a close call for an Amish family in Genoa after their chimney fire spread into the attic. Crews rushed to the Bakken Lane home with multiple departments responding to get the flames under control. While damage was limited, fire officials say this is a timely reminder as temperatures drop.
You know, if people aren't burning the correct wood or not cleaning or inspecting their chimneys, could have issues with that creosote that's been built up catching fire. That can extend right out into your rafters, things like that, and cause a whole structure fire.
Fire officials are reminding everyone to check their chimneys and carbon monoxide detectors during this cold spell. And firefighters battled an early morning blaze in Hillsboro. It was on the 600 block of Shear Avenue. The back of the home was engulfed in flames, though no one was injured. The cause of the fire remains under investigation. A La Crosse nonprofit is partnering with local businesses to put the PAC in Impact. It's for Great Rivers United Way's Impacts program, which supports children and those experiencing homelessness. State Bank, Dairyland Power, and Mayo Clinic Health Systems are involved this year. The snack packs and hygiene kits are going to go to the Boys and Girls Clubs, Salvation Army, and Catholic Charities Warming Center.
Our United Way takes that hassle of sourcing, procuring items, setup, pairing with the nonprofit for the beneficiary organizations, all of that. So it takes a lot of that hassle and busy work out of the workplace.
All in all, 3,000 snack packs and 360 hygiene kits will be assembled and delivered. Milwaukee Burger Company is also trying to do its part to help the unsheltered. The restaurant today donating 10% of sales from 3 to 6 p.m. to the nonprofit What I Need Now, or WIN. WIN provides homeless community members with essentials. So the money today will go toward winter gear like hats, gloves, and hand warmers.
There are a lot of people that live on the street, don't have a place to go. We help them to survive until they can thrive on their own, and we have a lot of success stories.
If you're interested in donating to WIN's cause, we'll have a link on our digital platforms. 50 protests in 50 states. What's motivating Monroe County residents to rally in Sparta?
Brad Schimmel wants to take us back to an abortion ban from 1849, back to a ban with no exceptions, not for rape or even health of the mother. Brad Schimmel, too extreme for women, too extreme for the Supreme Court.
A new walk-in shower, safe and convenient.
A beautiful new entry door.
A lovely pergola or patio cover.
New windows that wow.
Your dream kitchen.
New siding to transform your home from old to new.
Whatever your plans, the 27th annual Early Bird Home Show, only at the Board Store, brings you all of these at the lowest price of the year.
Visit our 8-building showroom on Copeland Avenue in La Crosse. Visit our website.
Call 608-782-8877.
The 27th annual Early Bird Home Show, only at the Board Store. Don't miss it.
Style or substance. Somehow, it became one or the other. But there is another choice. Not stopping until you have everything in the GMC Sierra. Get over $2,700 purchase cash on 2025 Sierra 1500 models.
Visit your best choice GMC dealer today.
Brad Schimmel let thousands of rape kits sit untested for years.
While rapists walked free and victims waited for justice.
Take it from a sheriff.
A sheriff.
A cop. Brad Schimmel's too extreme for the Supreme Court.
Some Monroe County Democrats spent President's Day protesting President Trump's federal funding cuts. A small group gathered at Sparta City Hall to criticize Elon Musk's role in the government and cuts to the VA and Department of Education. One protester says the changes will hurt everyday people.
We're going to sacrifice what's really helpful for the people of our community, whether that's farm workers, people on medical assistance, people who are veterans, or in nursing homes. We're throwing out the baby with the bathwater instead of taking a measured approach to making the changes that people in Sparta and Toma want.
The protest was part of the nationwide 50-51 movement to organize protests in every single state today. Musk's Department of Government Efficiency is seeking access to the IRS's highly sensitive taxpayer data system. That would mean being able to access private data on millions of Americans' tax returns, social security numbers, and banking information. Now, according to one source, a software engineer working under DOJ is expected to be granted access to the system very soon. He's expected to sign an agreement requiring him to maintain confidentiality with tax return information and to destroy those materials upon leaving the IRS. Americans are facing an uphill battle when it comes to managing rising debt burdens. In some cases, they haven't been this overextended since the aftermath of the Great Recession. Ivan Rodriguez breaks down the latest credit conditions for American households and some tips for paying off debt.
Americans are struggling to pay off their debt.
Nobody should be surprised that debt is rising.
A new report by the Federal Reserve Bank of New York shows all major loan categories are on the rise, with credit card balances topping $1.2 trillion, up more than 7% from the fourth quarter of last year. Matt Schultz with LendingTree says while some higher levels of household debt were to be expected because of inflation, it doesn't mean it isn't troubling.
We found that about a third of people took on debt over the holidays.
Two categories where Americans are struggling to manage their debt: auto loans and credit cards. The share of households becoming seriously delinquent, meaning missing a payment for 90-plus days, are at 14-year highs.
That car payment is often one of the most prioritized when bills come due, and when that one is not being paid, that's probably a sign that other struggles are around as well.
Schultz says there are some steps people can take to get ahead on paying down their debt.
First thing that they should do is create a budget. You can do things like getting a 0% balance transfer credit card or a low-interest personal loan to consolidate some of those loans and bring the interest rates down.
In Atlanta, I'm Ivan Rodriguez.
Coming up tonight, athletes facing off in Wisconsin ski and board championships. How local athletes fared against the state's best. Next.
And yeah, we're dealing with bitterly cold temperatures through Wednesday, but there is some light at the end of the tunnel here. We have very mild conditions, in fact, coming up this weekend. That means 40s are potentially coming back for many areas. We'll break down when to expect it and how cold we'll get through Wednesday. That all coming up on your First Warn Weather Update after the break.
We've done many, many renovations. We bought an old house and have made it into an up-to-date house. Whenever anything involves plumbing, the first call I make is to Maxwell White. Their technicians put together a great final product.
the Silverado Trail Boss. And a little work. And a little play. And a truck that says no to nothing. And Chevrolet.
Get $3,000 total cash allowance on this 2025 Silverado. Plus, current Chevy owners can get $5,000 total value when you trade in an eligible vehicle. Visit HometownChevy.com.
We're cranking up the voltage, Wisconsin. Lottery retailers all around the state are lighting up with the latest limited time offer. It's Easy Match Mania. During the month of February, you have a 1 in 7 chance of winning a bonus $1 Megabucks ticket when you buy a $2 Megabucks with Easy Match ticket. This electric offer is only available for a limited time and only at Wisconsin lottery retailers.
Ellie McClune is committed to lacrosse, striving for common sense leadership that addresses homelessness, promotes public safety, and supports affordable housing. With deep community roots and experience as a realtor and small business owner, Ellie understands the challenges and opportunities of our city. It's time for real change with a focus on community and responsible solutions. Make your vote count for a thriving lacrosse. Vote in the primary on February 18th. Paid for by Friends of Ellie McClune.
Here at Maxwell White, we know how valuable your time is. From issues with your hot water to slower clogged drains, our team is always on time with friendly service and solutions you can trust. Don't wait. Contact Maxwell White. Plumbing done right.
Is it time for new windows or doors? Contact the company who has done the research for you. The best windows and doors installed by the best people. Clear Choice Window and Home Solutions.
The news continues on News 8 Now. Expect more.
Some La Crosse area ski and snowboard teams are celebrating some top performances at this year's state high school championships. The Northern La Crosse Co-op girls team and Logan Central Providence defended the home slopes of Mount La Crosse with some top 10 finishes. Alyssa Raven led the way for the girls, finishing second in compiled score for all girls, and Benedict Altoff of Logan Central Providence finishing 7th for boys. The tournament features 3 events: slalom, giant slalom, and the Super G. Mount La Crosse has hosted the state finals 30 times in the league's 50-year history.
This is a great race that brings everybody in the whole state together. We have so many volunteers. We have over 320 ski racers here for the weekend.
The all-state team will soon be named, and that squad will get to travel out west to compete in the national tournament. So fingers crossed for our local athletes to see if they can make the state team. And not a bad day if you're a big winter sport enthusiast with the cold and the snowpack, Greg. And we got some alert day conditions, though, the next few days.
Yeah, definitely like myself who likes to snowboard, definitely good there. And also, if you like the trails to be open for snowmobile, we do have quite a bit more open, partial in some areas, better as you go further east and south. For the first time, we've actually got a lot more open, so that's the positive news. And it's going to stick around here because we'll be really cold through Wednesday. Even Wednesday night will be cold, but maybe not quite as bad going into Thursday. We'll have not as cold as Thursday, that means, and then Seas Bowl. Seas Bowl this time of year, you're talking upper 20s to low 30s now. Actually, La Crosse's average is now 33, so we're above. We're getting about a degree per every 3 days right now with the average temperature coming through. And then the better news, 40s for the weekend, and it looks quiet. And I think these 40s, or at least the 30s and above freezing, is going to continue all of next week. The pattern is really going to shift as the jet lifts well to the north and gets rid of the Arctic air mass. But for at least the next couple days, we still got the dangerous cold. Tuesday morning, tomorrow morning is probably going to be the coldest period, I think, overall for the wind chills to be down there for 40 below. I think we'll see not quite as bad going into Wednesday morning or Thursday morning, but still cold overall as we go through. Basically, all the way down to Texas, extreme cold. That's the darker shade. The other shade is the cold advisory. Just means you won't see as bad as wind chills, more 30 to 35. The other areas look at 40, probably by 10 a.m. Otherwise, we'll start seeing those improve, so it won't be as low. So it's really just the morning hour to 10 a.m. to see these type of cold wind chills, but it still remains cold throughout the whole day. As you look at the wind chills, we should be in the 20 to 25 overnight, and then by the time we wake up, we're looking at about 35 to 40 below for most areas. Some areas will be in that 25 to 30. By the time we get to about 9 or 10, you'll start seeing them improve. And then by noon, you're looking generally at 15 to 20 below wind chills. So still cold, Still really bitterly cold, but not quite as bad. Then going in the afternoon, some areas might see a little bit of improvement, but I think still we'll look at least single digits to teens below zero with that wind chill coming back home on Tuesday. Then going into Wednesday morning, we're still looking at potential 30 below, maybe a little bit lower as you get towards the morning. So not the 40s, but still the 30s. So still it's going to be bitterly cold waking up Wednesday morning. And then in the afternoon, we'll have more clouds going into Wednesday afternoon. So the winds won't be as strong. More single-digit wind chills going into Wednesday. High temperatures tomorrow. With the February sun, it does help to get the temperatures above zero. If this was January, we'd struggle really hard to even get close to zero, but we'll be in the single digits there. And as going to Wednesday night, will still be cold, still single digits below to some teens, but cloud cover will probably keep these a little bit warmer going into Wednesday. And then Wednesday overall, similar temperatures because of the cloud cover that'll be in the factor. And then better news is going Thursday. We start seeing the winds turn around a little bit, so we're back in the teens to near 20. So that'll definitely feel much warmer than we've had for Tuesday or Wednesday. And we go a little bit better than that. The Arctic air gets pushed to the north. We get more mild air to the west, and that's really going to warm our temperatures up throughout the weekend. We're looking at 40s. We'll have to melt the snow, so that may keep the temperatures down a little bit, but we should be in the 40s to even mid 40s. And as the other thing, as I mentioned, pretty quiet pattern too. Next chance of rain or snow may come not till next Wednesday. Even that is pretty light too. So just buckle up, hold on for Wednesday, and then we'll be nice and good for the weekend.
Be on the up and up again in no time. All right, thank you, Greg. Coming up next in sports, action on the hardwood. The CFC Pirates are ranked 7 in Division 5, but did they have enough to defeat the Red Hawks? Cade is next.
When you've trusted your personal injury case to Bygoff and Rohde, you're going to feel the weight of the world off your shoulders. You have to concern yourself with getting to the doctor and trying to get better. We'll do everything else. And that's how we get results for our clients.
Earn now, spend later during Blaine's Farm & Fleet's Blaine's Bucks event. Now through February 26th, rewards members earn $10 in Blaine's Bucks for every $100 spent in store. Redeemable just like cash, March 6th through the 19th. Start earning on Blaine's Original Cat Food, $26.99. Select AgriMaster Feed, $10.49. Rewards members save an extra buck. Blaine's Platinum Vehicle Batteries, $5 off for rewards members. Plus, try new Dots Barbecue Pretzels, $5.99. Blaine's Farm & Fleet. Be an original.
Attention business owners. Start 2025 confidently with Your Choice Roofing, your trusted partner for commercial roofing solutions. Our expert craftsmanship and premium materials ensure a roof that stands the test of time. Don't wait. Our schedule is filling up fast. Get ahead of the rush and secure your spot now to protect your building and your bottom line. Visit yourchoiceroofing.com today to get started.
Radon is a radioactive gas you can't see or smell, but it's the second leading cause of lung cancer in America. It can seep up from the ground and into your home, and as many as 1 in 3 homes can have dangerous levels, especially in basements, where many of us have bedrooms and playrooms. Call American Water Works for an expert radon solution. We'll get radon out to help protect your family and your home's value. Don't wait. Breathe healthier today. Call the radon experts at American Water Works.
After you've been injured in an accident, life becomes chaotic. You have doctor's appointments, medical bills, insurance adjusters harassing you to settle your claim. When you call Bygoff and Rohde, we take care of it all. We get results.
Covering all of the exciting action from your community, here's News 8 Now Sports with Cade Overton.
Postseason is almost here, but first, we've got to close out the regular season. The CFC Pirate Boys are ranked in Division 5, but they were on the road tonight against a tough GET squad. Let's go there. The Pirates came into this one with just 1 loss on the year, and they were hot out of the gates. Aiden Lazowski puts up the 3, knocks it down. Then later, how about Porter Erat? He's going to go up, get the rebound, goes right back up, bucket plus the foul. Pirates would start the game on a 12-0 run, but here comes GET. Mason Brown finds Jackson Burns on the wing. That's cash. Then it's Brown in the lane, turnaround jumper, knocks it down. Redhawks down just 1. Later, Brown cutting through the defense, gets the shot to fall, and 1. Redhawks, they go on to win 61-52. Over in Holmen tonight, the Vikings hosting the Luther Lady Knights. Second half action. Macy Neumeister outside alone. She's going to take it for 3. Knights still trail. And then Kara Unke heads downtown, hooking it up for 2. Cuts into the deficit, but Holmen would answer. Charlie Casey, no one stopping her. She makes it fall for 2, but the Knights staying right back in it. Neumeister making it rain, threes. It was a close one late, but the Vikings would convert at the free throw line as they hold on to win 64-59. The WIAA girls basketball brackets have been released. The playoff games begin next week. The Aquinas Blue Girls landed a 2 seed and are hoping to make another deep playoff run. Last year, the Blue Golds fell 2 games short of the state tournament. This year, they've reloaded. They're currently on an 18-game winning streak, but before the winning took off, it was a 3-game losing skid that motivated the Blue Golds and helped them refocus.
I think they probably needed more of a break early on than I realized. And yeah, once we could get our focus kind of restored, I felt like we took off like I was hoping we would. It just took a few games.
Definitely motivated. It's like we just want to get better day by day, like take each practice and get better so we can start winning and like get on the track that we want to be.
The girls know the history of Blue Gold basketball. 6 state tournament appearances since 2017, but after falling short last season, it's added extra fuel to the fire.
I remember like after those losses, those seasons, and just going to that summer working a lot extra with a lot more fuel behind the fire of why we're working, and just motivates us to get back to state or with the loss last year, get to there.
The Blue Golds will put their win streak on the line tomorrow night when they host the #1 team in Division 5, Assumption. Then they'll wrap up their season hosting Sparta on Thursday before the postseason starts next week. After the Badgers picked up a huge win on the road over #7 Purdue on Saturday, Wisconsin is up 5 spots to #11 in the latest AP rankings. They're now the highest ranked Big Ten team, with Michigan, Purdue, and Michigan State all right behind them. But the Badgers are still in 4th in the Big Ten standings and will need some help if they want to improve their Big Ten seed. The only thing they can do is continue to win. Currently 12-2 in their last 14 games, but they've got a tough one tomorrow night at home against Illinois. Now, the Badgers lost to the Fighting Illini way back on December 10th, but this time it'll be at the Kohl Center, where Wisconsin has only lost 1 time this entire season. Tip-off set for 7:30 on FS1. Marquette down to 16 in the latest rankings. They'll play for the first time in a week tomorrow night, hosting Seton Hall. Over the weekend, the Viterbo hosted their VHawk Invite Bowling Tournament. Viterbo took first on the women's side. Emily Neubauer on a mission. She would take first overall and is now ranked #1 in 3 of 4 categories out of 1,600 ladies. She'll look to qualify for nationals in March. If you want to know more about Emily and her bowling journey, Jacob spoke with her late last fall. You can find that story on our website at news8000.com. How's your bowling game looking?
I think I can top out at 170 on a good day, so I'm assuming Emily Neubauer will absolutely destroy me in a one-on-one.
I think she's got us both beat.
I
for
think
sure.
so.
All right, we'll have more news after the break.
That was funny. Yeah. That's a sick bike.
Boys.
Miss Sanderson?
See you Monday.
No way.
Get solar and get saving with Olson Solar Energy.
The biggest thing I want to get across to people, whether it's via email or voicemail or text, is we are a local Wisconsin family-owned turnkey solar company.
We have project managers that will walk you through the process, keep you informed along the way, and make sure that the communication is the best that it can be.
All the financial benefits are awesome. And then on top of that, it's green energy. How can you lose?
At Taco John's, we believe a better Taco Tuesday starts with better tacos. That means using 100% North American beef, cooking shells in-house daily, and a deal that makes you say, how are these only $1.29? Taco Tuesday is every Tuesday at Taco John's.
Freedom is the ability to choose the path that makes you happy. Start down your path today in a Jeep.
Save over 10% off MSRP plus discounts on a 2024 Jeep Wrangler during the President's Day sales event. Redesigned exterior elements and updated features offer a refreshed take on the original icon of adventure, Jeep Wrangler. Stop in today. This offer ends February 28th.
My last name is Pischke, and that's where you can find your Jeep. Pischke Motors West Salem or Pischke Motors La Crosse.
This street's like any other in Wisconsin, but the new neighbor is a pedophile who repeatedly raped a little girl, released after just 2 years in prison. Thanks to Judge Susan Crawford's sweetheart sentence, a fraction of the 60 years he faced. Now, the pedophile lives blocks from a school. And with Susan Crawford on the bench, your street could be next.
It's time to vote for Best of La Crosse County. Pick your favorites in each category now through all of February. We'll announce all of the winners on April 1st. Go to bestoflacrossecounty.com.
Presented by River Valley Remodelers.
A Minnesota lodge claims to have created one of the longest ice skating trails in the U.S. Gunflint Lodge's Lake Trail is roughly 6 miles long. Lodge owner John Fredrickson said he was inspired to make the course after seeing how many people were drawn to the Northwoods for the perfect natural ice skating conditions. This is the first year ice conditions have allowed him to do it on such a large scale, and Fredrick says so far it's been a hit.
People are calling up and driving our front desk a little bit crazy with the calls asking if they've been cleared, but it's fun. I think people are happy to do it. It's something different that you're not getting a whole lot of other places.
Fredrickson says if Mother Nature cooperates, he hopes to hold on to the title next year. Looks like a lot of fun. Greg's going to have one more check of your frigid forecast right after this.
Brad Schimmel wants to take us back to an abortion ban from 1849, back to a ban with no exceptions, not for rape or even health of the mother. Brad Schimmel, too extreme for women, too extreme for the Supreme Court.
It's Truck Month with the Ford Crew.
This event is so big, it has something in it for everyone.
For power people, all electric, hybrid, or gas.
For towing people, Pro Trailer Backup Assist.
And Pro Power Onboard for tailgating people.
No wonder Ford F-Series are the best-selling trucks in America for 48 straight years.
Get 3.9% APR and $1,000 bonus cash, or lease for only $399 a month for 36 months on a new Ford F-150 STX.
Jolivet Family Farms, known for farm fresh fruit and vegetables, but featuring so much more. Come see all that we have. Homemade bakery, large selection of locally produced honey, gourmet popcorn, craft beer, wine, and cheese, meat and seafood, arts and crafts, and so much more. There is no substitute for homegrown freshness. Open daily year-round. Jolivet Family Farms, West Salem.
You know what's on my mind? It's butt cold out here and I don't have any heat at home.
Well, gotta have heat, Einstein.
Up yours, smarty. I just don't know who to call.
Jacob said Chuck used the local company. The primary colors, the good one?
What?
What?
Huh?
Well, there's your sign.
Jeez Louise.
Moron.
Hey, putz.
Call GNT.
For the best heating and air conditioning, guaranteed.
Your mom got a new tractor?
Yep.
Can she see in the dark? Can do. Hook up all the implements? Can do. Steer with ease? Can do. Bale hay all day? Can do. Shift like a race car? Can do. I'm out of here.
Visit any of your local Johnson Tractor dealerships, now including La Crosse and Richland Center.
Brad Schimmel let thousands of rape kits sit untested for years.
While rapists walked free
and victims waited for justice.
Take it from a sheriff.
A sheriff.
A cop. Brad Schimmel's too extreme for the Supreme Court.
Definitely a frigid morning. We're looking at wind chills potentially 35, even colder for the morning, and improve slightly by 10 a.m. And then in the afternoon, we'll see wind chills back in the teens to near 20, above zero. It gets better for Wednesday, still cold, even better for Thursday, still cold. But then the weekend, yeah, you'll probably like it to plus 40 now. We're not minus 40 wind chill, we're plus 40 temp.
Always a light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah, there is.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Thanks for joining us tonight at 10. We'll see you tomorrow.